everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm your host, Mishi, and today's video is going to be the first episode of My Little Dress to Impress podcast. Yes, that is the name. In this series, I'll be talking all things dress to impress, whether it's drama, game updates, or community news. These podcasts are going to be super interactive for my subscribers, and today I'm diving into some of your unpopular dress to impress opinions and sharing my thoughts on them. If you want to be featured in future episodes like this, make sure to keep an eye out on my community posts and follow me on Instagram. I'll regularly ask for your guys' input, and who knows, your comment might just make it into the next episode. Now let's get started. Alright, let's kick things off with what's probably the most controversial opinion of the bunch. It Girl is better than Dress to Impress. Before we dive in, a quick reminder, please don't attack anyone for their opinions in the comment section. If you want to share your thoughts, please do so respectfully. Since we're going to be talking about unpopular opinions, chances are the majority of you may disagree with some points in the video, hence why they're called unpopular opinions. Just remember to keep an open mind and respect everybody's views. Now back to the opinion. It Girl is better than Dress to Impress. Personally, I don't fully agree with this statement when comparing both games as a whole. However, I do believe that there are aspects where It Girl surpasses Dress to Impress. For example, the community, It Girl players seem to be more fair with voting and are more supportive of each other. I also just prefer the overall aesthetic of It Girl. But when it comes to statistics, there's no denying that Dress to Impress takes the lead. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If It Girl had the same resources and support as Dress to Impress, I truly believe it could have been an even more successful game because of its creativity and uniqueness. That's not to downplay Dress to Impress's success though. As you all know from my channel and my rank in DTI, I'm definitely more of a Dress to Impress girly when it comes to where I spend most of my time, but I've got so much respect and love for It Girl too. Next opinion, I liked it better when the clothes were less realistic. I just prefer the cartoony vibe. This is an interesting take. I remember when Dress to Impress started shifting towards more realistic graphics, especially when they began oiling up every item in the game like they were all glazed donuts. At first, I was definitely a little uncomfortable with it, but now I'm constantly using the silk or metallic material. The shinier, the better. I can totally see where you're coming from though. If you're into that more cartoony feel, It Girl definitely captures that vibe more, which is one of the things I love about that game. But yeah, interesting opinion. I can't say I fully agree because I really do enjoy the realism in Dress to Impress, but it's kind of like when I initially hated the noses in the game, but now I can't imagine playing without them. I get where you're coming from though. Dress to Impress has definitely evolved. It's just not the same game it was a year ago or even a couple months ago. I also think a lot of the complaints people have about updates aren't because the update itself is bad, but because they're just not used to it yet. Remember when everyone hated the dressing rooms? Yeah, well that brings me to my next unpopular opinion. My dogs are barking. This is fantastic. The show must go on. I'm sorry. I hate when the devs release an update and everyone and their mothers hate on it. This is so real. The Dress to Impress community can be filled with negativity, and every update seems to bring out some kind of complaint. I'm definitely guilty of this, no denying it. I think there's a difference between giving constructive feedback and just complaining, but a lot of players cross that line and end up just venting frustration. Fortunately, the Dress to Impress devs are incredibly hardworking and always listen to the community, working hard to improve the game based on what players have to say. Not every Roblox game or game in general is like that, and I think Dress to Impress is one of the most responsive games when it comes to giving players what they want. It's definitely frustrating when you see how much effort the devs put in, only for others to just complain about it. A personal ick of mine is when people claim that Dress to Impress is just money hungry. I don't think that's the case at all, or at least I don't think that is the right term to use. Sure, there are things they've added like Style Showdown and the larger map, which seem designed to encourage players to buy things like the Walk Faster Game Pass, and putting essential items like the Angel Wings and Masquerade Mask in the VIP room. It definitely pushes people to get VIP, but I wouldn't necessarily call that money hungry. They don't just make this game for free, you guys. The work and money put into it is what makes the game you enjoy so much great. The devs need to pay for the quality and efficiency we see in the game, and that requires employees and money to pay those employees for their time. So yeah, I guess my unpopular opinion is that Dress to Impress isn't money hungry and these strategies are just part of running a game. But of course, I'm also saying this as an almost adult with money to spend on game passes, unlike some younger players, aka the target audience, who can't exactly steal their parents' credit card to buy them. So here's another unpopular opinion from me. I really can't stand when people refer to the DTI team as GG. For those who might not know, GG is the founder and creator of Dress to Impress. I'm not here to downplay her success or creativity. Dress to Impress wouldn't be what it is today without her. In fact, it wouldn't even exist. That said, I personally don't support GG, and if you're not aware of the controversies surrounding her, I encourage you to do your own research and form your own opinion. There is a lot of misinformation floating around, especially in comment sections. But anyways, as a result of these controversies, GG took a hiatus from working on the game, at least publicly. To my knowledge, she hasn't announced her return since the Halloween update, which suggests she's not directly involved in the game at the moment. Of course, I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. She could be working privately, but even then, it's clear that she's no longer an independent developer. The game is now run by a whole team of talented people. So when I see comments like, oh, GG fixed this, GG fixed that, GG, this update is amazing, it's not only praising someone with a pretty complicated past, which I'm not trying to attack anyone for, but I personally find it tone deaf and distasteful. It's also discrediting the talented developers working behind the scenes. I'm not trying to compare the developer skills, and I'm not suggesting that GG can't create great updates, but if I were a developer, I'd find it pretty frustrating if my work was being credited to someone else. For example, why have I seen people praising GG for like new maps when there are literal watermarks in the map showing which developers created it or which developers worked on it or whatever? There are watermarks, it says their names. Anyways, that's my unpopular opinion. Let's move back to some of your guys' opinions now. I'm not sure if this is an unpopular opinion, but I feel like the dressing rooms or closets should stay. I'd say this definitely was an unpopular opinion back during the Halloween update, but as I mentioned earlier, I think it was mostly because not everyone was used to them. Now though, I completely agree with you, and I think this opinion is much more popular now. To me, it's just really convenient having everything in one place. If anyone remembers the old Roblox game Design It, the vibe is definitely similar since you don't have to be running around the map. On a side note, I'm gonna do a little self-promo here. This Saturday, I'm doing the Closet Only Challenge, so keep an eye out for that video as well as my new It Girl video dropping tomorrow. Since you all surprisingly loved the last It Girl video, I've decided to make it a weekly thing, so every Thursday you can expect a new It Girl video, and I just want to thank you guys for the support. Moving on, I don't really like Style Showdown. Honey, we are on the same exact page. This opinion is actually not as unpopular as you might think. I think the more unpopular opinion is I love the new game mode. I think it's fair and fun to play. It's something I've seen a lot of people complain about regarding the new game mode, but I do believe that over time, as the developers continue to refine it, the game will improve and players will start to enjoy it more. Some related opinions here are, I hate how we can't layer the new Style Showdown dress, it just glitches out. And why is the Style Showdown fit kinda giving plastic surgery? There's been a lot of discussions around the Style Showdown reward set, and I have to admit, I too questioned if it was really worth the 6 hours of grinding to get it. I think it's cute, but like you said, I really wish we could layer it. I believe the issue is that the plastic surgery detail glitches through other shirts, making it hard to layer properly. One unpopular opinion I have is the whole concept of farming servers is dumb. People should actually work and earn their rank and not just join a server and get a lot of stars. I've seen a ton of discussions about this on TikTok, especially since a lot of popular creators are either being exposed for farming or openly admitting to it. Personally, I think it depends on the situation. I'm mutuals with some creators who make really awesome outfits, but since they're free play warriors, they often end up stuck as a trendsetter. That used to be fine since the only rewards for other ranks were the runway queen bag and the trendsetter skirt, so free play players weren't missing out on much. However, with the Valentine's Day update, there are now more rewards for higher ranks, and some of them are really cute. Top model silk robe, I am after you. So naturally, some players decided to farm to get those rewards. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I'm saying this as someone who's never farmed before. I think there's a difference between the servers where everyone is AFK and just using auto clickers to give everyone 5 stars, and the ones where players are actively participating and still giving each other 5 stars. The latter servers tend to be more fun and supportive, even more so than regular servers. I can totally see why someone might join a Discord server to find these farming communities because they are really positive. That said, I also understand how frustrating it can be when someone with a top model rank is still wearing the first set on the runway. It can feel discrediting when you're someone who has genuinely earned their stars by playing a lot of Dress to Impress. Ultimately, I think as long as a player's outfits match their rank, farming for reward items is fine. But but fashion is subjective, so you can't really decide who deserves the rank and who doesn't. One possible solution could be adding a system where stars can be earned in free play mode, but that might just lead to even more farming, which could be a disaster. I hate the new Mary Jane's rework. Yeah, I think a lot of people can agree with this. Personally, I'm not a fan of the reworks either. I definitely prefer the originals. It's a bit sad that they're gone now because they were such a staple for so many of my outfits. As you can probably tell from this video, I'm one of Dress to Impress's biggest D1 glazers, so I can't get myself to say I hate the new rework, but I can definitely say I prefer the old ones. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind the rework is. Maybe it's for lag issues or copyright concerns, I'm not sure, but I do think that the DTI team is more than capable of reworking the Mary Janes without making them look so tiny on the feet. This one also includes the opinion that the map is too big, and I can definitely agree with that. I tried to give it a chance, thinking maybe I just wasn't used to the new layout yet and that it would get easier over time, but after some time, I still feel like I can never finish an outfit, and this is with 6 minutes, an extra minute, and the walk faster game pass. That just brings me back to how useful the closets are now. They save me a ton of time. We all knew Dress to Impress would eventually need a bigger map to accommodate all the items with each update, but I do think there's a lot of unnecessary open space that could be trimmed down while still fitting everything in. Alright, these next few opinions have been a hot topic on TikTok recently. I think eternal / non-human fits are repetitive and not creative anymore. I've been saying this since the Halloween update, but it seems like only recently it's become a popular opinion on TikTok. A lot of people have been talking about the jellyfish outfits specifically, especially how they start to look almost identical after a while. I agree with this to some extent. Ethereal outfits are so fun to make, but there's only so many combinations you can make before it starts feeling a bit unoriginal. That being said, I've also seen a lot of creators getting attacked for their outfits. For example, someone posted their podium winning outfit and the comments were full of people saying things like, they all look the same, they're identical, so unoriginal. Keep in mind, the theme was fire versus ice. Sure, the top 3 podium winners were all ice themed, but there's not much you can do to stand out with a theme like that. I fear you can't always not be like other girls. While I do agree that it can feel repetitive, I don't think there's a reason to hate on creators' outfits. Honestly, I can't scroll through a comment section on a cute ethereal outfit without seeing hate. If you're bothered by the repetitiveness, which is bound to happen with trends by the way, then maybe try making your own unique outfit. This isn't aimed at the commenter who just pointed out the repetitiveness. It's a fact after all. My house is so loud, I'm so sorry, and my mom is just coming home from work and my animals are about to go ballistic, so excuse the background noise if I am unable to get rid of it. I'm more so talking about the anonymous TikTok accounts that hide behind their screens just to spread negativity. Let me know what you guys think, since this is kind of a controversial topic right now. I do agree that some of these outfits can feel unoriginal, but I don't agree with all the hate some creators are getting. By the way, I'm not one of those creators getting hate for this. I do get hate sometimes, mostly for my it girl videos, but not for my ethereal outfits since I don't do them as often. I just wanted to clarify that because I might sound defensive, but as a fellow creator, I can imagine how annoying it must be to get so much hate on a video. Just remember, unoriginal doesn't equal bad. I once commented, not overrated, just overdone, and some replies came at me, so I just wanted to set the record straight here. This next opinion kind of ties into the previous one. Overlayering is definitely a thing, and for human themes, it can sometimes look a bit crazy. I 100% agree with this. I used to think that in order to create a good outfit, I had to max out the item limit. Maybe it's because I bought the extra game pass and I wanted to get my money's worth, but there is this mentality now that the more you layer, the better your outfit will be, which just isn't true. As I mentioned earlier, fashion is subjective, so everyone has their own tastes and their own styles. I've been trying to promote more kindness in the Dress to Impress community because it can honestly be really toxic, and I don't think that gets talked about enough. Maybe that's a topic for a future podcast episode, but I've noticed some arguments online about messy layering versus clean layering. I'm sure some will know which creators I'm talking about by my descriptions, but today I'm not naming any names. This is my first podcast episode, y'all. I'm not trying to start any beef just yet. Let's save the diss tracks for a later time. So let's say there's a player who prefers messy layering and posts these outfits online. Personally, I think they're cute, and while I mentioned earlier that overlaying can be a thing, I do think some people can really pull it off. It might not be everyone's style, but it's upsetting to see people put on the entire map and purposefully make their outfit look bad so that they can mock these creators like, oh, I don't have to put on the entire map to look good. If you know, you know. And vice versa. I've seen hate directed at creators who prefer keeping it simple, with people saying they're not putting in enough effort or they don't deserve the rank. I just think sometimes people need to stay in their lane and accept that not everyone is gonna like your style and not everyone is going to hate the same styles you dislike. Again, none of this is aimed at the commenter because I 100% agree with you. The red train skirt is so bad I can never make it work. I don't know if we're thinking about the same skirt, but if you're talking about this one, what? Maybe your opinion is unpopular for a reason. No, I'm just kidding. I do remember when the Halloween update came out with this skirt and everyone and their mothers was abusing the heck out of it. But yeah, I personally love this skirt. I use it in every single outfit. Exhibit A, Exhibit B. Definitely an interesting opinion for sure. I hate when people overuse the jellyfish skirt. It's okay if you use it some rounds. I only hate it when there's no reason for it. For example, I see people wear it with barrel jeans. Who even still uses the jellyfish skirt? That's so summer of 2024. Okay, but in all seriousness, I totally overuse the jellyfish skirt. But yeah, using them with barrel jeans is kind of wild. To each their own, I guess. I just think this is so funny because I feel like more than half of these unpopular opinions are directed towards people like me. And I'm getting so defensive when it's really not that serious. Maybe I should take a moment to reflect. Maybe I'm the problem. Anyways, guys, that wraps up the first episode of My Little Dress to Impress podcast. Let me know what you think about the concept and feel free to drop some ideas for topics you'd like me to cover in the next episode or just in future episodes. This first one was hosted by yours truly, but I'm planning on inviting some co-hosts soon, so stay tuned for that. I got the idea for this because I've been listening to a lot of podcasts lately, a lot of Rotten Mango, but I also want to give a shout out to Hi Girl Who's This, which is a podcast channel I recently found on my recommended page. They beat me to it, so go check them out. Their channel will be linked below in the description. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Big shout out to my top donors, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!